Hello friends, my name is Vaibhav and I am the founder of a financial services firm in Bangalore which goes by the name Dexterous to Advisors Private Limited. Make debt work for you is the topic for today's video. We'll be restricting our discussion to the most commonly used instruments by individuals. What I've seen is that among individuals almost always there is an urge and urgency to prepay their loans. Whereas the business community, corporates, almost always run on loans because they know that they have better use for their own money and they can borrow at a lower interest rate rather than the returns that they can generate with their own funds. Let's get started with examples. Suppose a home loan which can be availed at an interest rate of, say for example, 8.5% is one of the lowest and cheapest instruments as far as borrowing is concerned. So if you chose to use your own money to invest in financial instruments, which for example and for understanding's sake could have earned you 12% and took a home loan at 8.5%, you are generating a 3.5% alpha. Done over a very long period of time, this amount could prove surprisingly and miraculously large. Also on home loans, you get tax benefits on interest and principal repayment. So your effective interest rate is further lower than 8.5% also. The other instrument for borrowing on property is loan against property, which is LAP. So again, if you have requirement of funds, rather than choosing to redeem your own financial instruments, if you chose to take a LAP, which would come at a percentage higher than a home loan, of course, there is no tax benefit, but still it is one of the cheapest instruments as far as borrowing is concerned. So if you borrowed, rather than using the money from your financial instruments, you could again end up generating an alpha on your financial decision. The third most commonly used and available instrument is credit cards. Now it has become a taboo, and the reason why it has become a taboo is because that person who is using the credit card is the problem. People are not disciplined while using their credit cards. What you have to understand is that the reason why you're using the credit card is because you want a systematic way of payment, you want those reward points which are coming to you, and you don't want to use your own money. Rather, take the cycle as an advantage so that you can pay for it after 30-40 days. Let us understand it by an example. Suppose your billing date is the 6th of every month. So 6th of Jan your bill gets made. From now, whatever purchases that you are making till the next 6th, all that is only due for payment on the 25th of Feb. So this long is the time that money is going to remain with you. If you ended up being disciplined and paid exactly on the 25th by setting up an auto debit instruction or by keeping a reminder, if you chose to do it in a disciplined fashion, what you would realize is that without you having to do anything, it earns. There are credit cards which give you cashbacks, there are credit cards which give you reward points, but it is eventually money. So use it wisely and make debt in this form work for you. Lastly and finally, the most commonly used instrument for borrowing among individuals is vehicle loans. What you have to realize is that there are a lot of individuals who are not taking vehicle loans just because they have this assumption that vehicle is a depreciating asset and you should never borrow on a depreciating asset. How is using your own money going to make a depreciating asset into an appreciating asset? And if you think that it is a depreciating asset plus I am paying an interest on it, so what? If you chose to use your own money, anyways, you are making a double whammy because this money could have been invested in other financial instruments which could have earned you a higher rate of return. Say for example, again 12%. Whereas a vehicle loan could have come at approximately anywhere around 9 to 10%. So let's assume 10%. That 2% extra which you are generating is an additional advantage which you are making. But what you chose to do was use your own money to purchase that vehicle. Now that 2% alpha which you could have generated over the rate of borrowing and the rate of return is gone. The bottom line which I am trying to explain is that if you have a financial or an economic decision where you are reasonably confident of generating higher rate of return than the rate of borrowing, always consider of borrowing. You are not borrowing because you are financially incapable, but because you are financially prudent. You are making a wise decision. I hope you found the video useful. If you found it useful, please press the like button, subscribe the channel, share it among family and friends as much as possible, and thanks for watching.